This is Behind the Mic, local and worldwide. Interviews with the stars of yesterday, today, and tomorrow. A talk show that will inform, entertain, and take you to the edge, maybe even over. Now, from the Big Z studio in suburban Chicago, here's the host of Behind the Mic, Gary Zahara.
Thanks, Mitch. My next guest's career in music spans over 60 years, fronting the Twilights, Axiom, and most notably, the original voice of one of the biggest bands to come out of Australia, Little River Band. Glenn Shorrock joins me behind the mic next.
Experience the power of advanced skincare technology at LA Tan in Lisle. LA Tan in Lisle is proud to offer red light therapy, the revolutionary red light technology that targets all layers of the skin. The 5 distinct red and near infrared wavelengths carry unique benefits and maximizes the potency of your treatments, unlocking your skin's true potential. Embrace the future of skincare and discover a new you with red light therapy at LA Tan in Lisle in Maple Square. Call 630-810-5900 to book your appointment today. 630-810-5900. LA Tan in Lisle. Look good, feel good.
Brought to you by Slugmaster, turning batters into hitters. Log on to slugmaster.com for a dealer near you.
Is songwriting and voiceover responsible for most of the over 30 million albums sold? Tunes like Emma, Cool Change, Lady, Help Is On Its Way, Man on Your Mind, Lonesome Loser, and Reminiscing, to go along with his solo career, gave him the distinction of being inducted into the ARIA Hall of Fame as a solo artist and with Little River Band. It's my pleasure to welcome the extraordinarily talented singer, songwriter, and author behind the mic, Glenn Shorrock. Hi, Glenn. How are you, sir?
I'm pretty good, considering.
Okay.
How are you?
I'm good. You know, this is a first for me, interviewing an international and a U.S. star. Obviously, it's Sunday night here in Chicago, and it's
Right.
Monday afternoon in Australia. So how's everything going down under?
Everything's fine here. Things are quiet. The football is reaching climax. The grand final is next Sunday. I'm just enjoying life here in Sydney. With my wife Irene, and I still go out and do a few shows, but not as many as before. Time is marching on. I've also contracted Parkinson's disease, or the symptoms of. I'm okay. It's just I'm not very mobile these days, and I rely on a wheelchair sometimes. If I'm traveling, if I'm walking long distances, I prefer to use a wheelchair, especially in airports. You know, airports are long corridors and stuff. And so, yeah, I use that. It's just a mobility inhibitor, shall we say. I'm okay inside. You know, all my things are working inside so far. I'm enjoying life.
It's not affected your voice yet, correct? Because Irene told me that you're semi-retired and you're doing a show maybe once every 2 or 3 months, correct?
Yeah, I've got 2 shows next week. One of which is on a cruise ship. They've done a couple of these. I think they've done some in America as well. This one's called Rock the Boat, and I'm on it along with contemporaries of mine that I've grown up with in the Australian lineup of rock stars, Jimmy Barnes and Daryl Braithwaite and myself and a lot of others that I've grown up with.
We've got the fall season here in Chicago now. It's turning spring in Australia. How was your winter? How are the winters down in Australia compared to, say, Chicago?
Well, you know, winter and spring seem to autumn and spring, your fall, they seem to come together. Climate change is a big subject. You know, it's a political football. It certainly made its mark down here with the forest fires. We call them bushfires, and they've been pretty devastating. But of course, that's happened all around the world. The world is on fire at some stage every day. I've just been in Europe on a cruise ship. I do a lot of cruising these days. The good sort of cruising, you know what I mean? And
you better say that, because Irene's sitting right next to you.
oh no, she's gone. Don't worry.
Okay.
Yeah, so the weather's good. It's a sunny day today, warm and calm. I'm talking to you from my spare room, shall we say, in my apartment, in our apartment, in the 27th floor of an apartment building in King's Cross, Sydney. We also have a holiday home in North Queensland, the north part of Australia, a place called Port Douglas, and we go there a lot these days. Time is marching on. You know, I'm not doing so much work anymore, you know, I'm enjoying the semi-retirement.
No, I'm glad you're sitting in that room, because you can let the fans know, because you can see the gold and platinum albums behind you that you've earned with your tremendous success in your career. Good segue when you talked about the brush fires. Now, you had quite a journey before you got into music. Born in Chatham, England, you migrated to Australia at 10 years old. The bushfires, Mom said, "Oh hell no," she wasn't impressed with that. You moved back to England.
Yeah.
You know, talk about that whole journey going back and forth, and then finally getting a taste of music and wanting to do that in your career.
Yeah. My life has always been moving. You know, I've never stayed still physically either, as well as music's concerned. But my family migrated in the mid 50s, and I was 10 years old, and did the 6-week journey on a boat. They didn't call them liners in those days, or cruise ships. They were just boats, and we were what we call 10-pound poms. You don't have that expression, I don't think, but it's an assisted passage that was afforded people by the Australian government back in the 50s and 60s. A lot of people migrated from Europe under that scheme. My family was one of them. As you pointed out, my mother watched a bushfire in Adelaide and said, I'm not staying here. And we went back to England. It sounds as though these things happen instantly, but they were pretty influential on my career. I got to see the world as a 10-year-old boy 3 times. You know, I traveled 6 weeks from London to Australia and back again 3 times, and then later on in life with the Twilights and another band that had a go at the English scene. My life has been busy. Now, not so busy.
You know, it's a long flight from England on a plane, but I could just imagine how long it is on a cruise ship, or a boat, as you call it. You know, it's got to be ridiculously long.
That was the way it was in those days.
Right.
You know, I'm talking about 40, 50 years ago now.
Right.
Actually, it's about 70 years. My God, I need a rest. And 6 weeks didn't seem so bad. Time moves a lot slower than in those days. No, I got the wanderlust, really. I've never stopped traveling. I've, had a good career in showbiz, so that's taken me around the world and back again. But I love to just get on an aeroplane or on a boat or whatever, you know, to just move around.
When Mom brought you back to Australia and you finally got your roots there in Adelaide, any interest in sports before you got into music, playing sports?
Any sport?
And any interest in playing sports before you got into music when you settled back in Australia?
No, my sport is television. I like to I like to watch television. Um, no, I was always interested in show business, and I listened to the radio before television came along. I listened to the comedy shows on an English radio featuring Peter Sellers, and he became a big mentor in my life. Not physically, but I just admired him, and he made me laugh. Really, British comedy is still with me.
Were you a Benny Hill
Um,
fan as well?
Not so much. It's a
Okay.
bit. That's a bit. Sort of schoolboy humor. I like the more intellectual stuff.
Right. I got you. I got you.
Mm.
When you get into Australia, and so you didn't do any sports, but what were the influences that got you into rock and roll, and when you wanted to start your music career? Who influenced you?
Heartbreak, Heartbreak Hotel, Heartbreak Hotel by Elvis Presley. And when I heard that, I was hooked. I wanted to find out more about this rock and roll business. And Bill Haley, the early 50s rock music was what got me going. I was only 12 when Elvis came along, and he was such an icon. And he was the first guy up on my wall, you know what I mean? He had that star quality about him. But then I just searched for more of that. I got involved in vocal group in Adelaide. I was 17, and I was working in a drawing office of the mines department for the South Australian government. Alongside me was a guy who was in a vocal group, and he would practice while we worked, and I would join him, and he encouraged me to do it. He said, "You can sing harmony," and I said, "Can I?" Yeah. He said, "Yeah, you can join our group." Oh, okay. So I did, and it all began there.
1964, you started with the Twilights, and what kind of influence and what kind of sound were you looking for with that group in particular?
Twilights, yeah.
What kind of sound were you
Well,
looking for? What were you guys trying to do when you first came on the scene?
well, there wasn't any scene really. We did it in our bedroom and sang at engagement parties and whatever. We were only kids, but we could sing harmony. The folk scene was around at that time, and that was a great vehicle for pretty simple vocal harmonies. And we just learned more and more, and we got more and more comfortable with the showbiz style of thing. Um, Danny and the Juniors, Dion on the Belmonts, a lot of the doo-wop bands and vocal groups that I listen to. Dion DiMucci is still one of my favorite singers. I listen to singers, I listen to good vocals and good lyrics.
When the Twilights disbanded in '69, and then you moved off to Axiom, did you disband because you wanted to do something different, or guys were just tired of playing, or what happened in there?
I don't know what happened that long ago. Life changes, and groups break up and reform, and things happen. I've written a book. If you want to know it in detail, I've got a book out called "Now Where Was I?" That's a good title.
I'm looking forward to reading that book. Yes.
Yeah, I get pretty vague at times. Things happen.
So in the Axiom group was referred to at that time one of the early Australian super groups. So when Axiom founded and when you guys put that group together. Did you think it was going to be a long haul thing? Did you think you guys were going to make a big splash in the industry?
Well, we were destined to go to England again. The Twilights have been in England for a short while, and because England was the place to nurture Australian talent. America was a nirvana. We didn't think about coming to America, mainly because you had to have a green card, and do all that business. And Australia still was a very Anglo country, so England was the place to go. We recorded the Twilights recorded at Abbey Road. We did 3 songs in one night in Abbey Road with Paul McCartney up the corridor singing Penny Lane. So they were very, very exciting times. Axiom was a bit later. Bands broke up, and I formed a band with a guy called Brian Cadd, a keyboard and songwriter. We tried to do a band sounding band, the band. That was a big influence on us at that time. It still is. The band is probably my top 5 favorite groups. The American sound was current. The British explosion had died out a bit, and the pendulum had swung back to America, and we started listening to the band and Crosby, Stills and Nash and Poco, all sort of country rock, Eagles, of course, Fleetwood Mac. We went up that tree, if you understand what I'm saying. Little River Band had 3 songwriters in it, and myself, B. Birtles, and Graham Goebel, and we had an arsenal of about 50, 60, 70 good songs, good material, and we went into the studio with those songs, and we made it. You guys, the American public liked our music, and we started a good 7-year period touring most of the country. I probably see more of the country than you have, actually. only briefly.
As I was doing some research and getting this interview together, I noticed that you were also known as Sharky and Andre L. Escargot. You want to give me a little background on those 2 names?
No.
Especially Andre L. Escargot. Is that in the book?
It's Andre Lescargot.
Yeah. Lescargot. Okay. Do I have to read the book for that information?
Yeah, it's in the book.
Okay.
Sharky was a nickname given to me by a reviewer. I call people. It's a bit complicated to tell you. So I'll briefly say a reporter at the Spokane, Washington newspaper wrote in an article about me, the lead singer of Little River Band, a Troy Donahue lookalike, Glenn Shorrock. Glenn Shorrock. And so that stuck with me. I'm known as Sharky now to my intimates.
I usually save this questions for a little bit later before we go on, as I'm going to jump into, after we get out of our first break, talking about Little River Band. The best advice you've gotten in your career, Glenn?
Yeah, shut up and sing. Gee whiz, that's a hard one. I get asked by younger people who are looking at having a career in music. How do you get famous and all that sort of stuff? And patience, perseverance, and passion, shall we say, I think are the 3 P's that I can use. Speaking of that, can I just go to the bathroom?
Hall of Fame singer, songwriter Glenn Shorrock, the original voice of Little River Band, is my guest on Behind the Mic. We're going to take a quick break and come back for more right after this.
Applied with water.
Glenn Shorrock, my guest, the original founding member and lead singer of Little River Band, Hall of Famer in the, you call it ARIA, Glenn? Is it ARIA or ARIA Hall of Fame? ARIA or ARIA?
ARIA, Australian Recording Industry
Right.
Association.
Right.
ARIA.
1975 rolls around, Glenn, and you join a band that's first known as Mississippi, but then it's renamed Little River Band. But people probably here in the States don't know it. I did a little research. It's well known in Australia. How did the name Little River Band come about? Can you explain that?
Yeah. I was asked to front this new band that was made up of old members of other bands. Mississippi was a title that I was not comfortable with. Why should be an Australian band be named after an American river? And as luck would have it, we drove past a sign saying Little River, exit 1 mile. There's a little town called Little River. And I said to my colleagues, sounds like a song. And the same breath said Little River Band. That sounds good. Let's do that. And it took a bit persuading, but it stuck. And as I've said, it seemed to be a good bet to get a band with the right material, and we all wrote some good songs. And our manager Glenn Wheatley was instrumental in selling us to the American recording industry. We managed a Capitol World deal, and we set off recording albums, and that lasted 7 or 8 years. And then for one reason or another, read the book, they decided that they should get another lead singer.
Yeah, well, I'll touch into that. That's another interesting story too. How would you describe your early years with Little? Well, first of all, the band Mississippi, even though you probably had those great songs that you recorded as Little River Band, but Mississippi is not as catchy as Little River Band. So excellent choice on the band name. How would you describe the early years of Little River Band for you?
Great expectations. I'd had a lot of experience already with international attempts with the Twilights and Axiom. And because of that, I felt confident in the material that I was listening to from the other writers. And I thought I'd give it one more try. But this time, aim at the American market rather than the British market. And lo and behold, it worked. So it changed my life. It's fantastic.
Some of your best songs are timeless. Lady, Reminiscing, the list goes on and on. The songs that you wrote, the songs that you sang. What songs match your personality or you are most proud of with Little River Band?
Ooh, Cool Change. Help Is On Its Way. I'll Be Home on a Monday. They're all about me and my romantic adventures or whatever. There was a bit of that, of course. I wrote a song called Sane City which is I'm proud of. That's part of me. Yeah, a lot of the songs are about my life and my philosophy.
Reminiscing about a relationship, or was it just basically about a general song about love and the person that you're with and all the time you spent together?
Well, excuse me, but I didn't write that one. Graham wrote that.
Right.
But it's a very unique song. It's not rock and roll. It's a little river band song, and I wish I could write one of those. I think it's probably the best song that's come out of Australia in a long while. My song "Help Is on Its Way" was a good door opener. It got great airplay and sold handsomely in the early years, and got us going in the States. So I'm pleased that my songs have reached a lot of ears, and people have been very kind about it.
Take It Easy on Me is one of my favorite songs as well. I mean, that whole album, again, the greatest hits album. There's other stuff there. Like I said, I saw the Little River Band in concert a couple of weekends ago here in Chicago suburbs. It's not the same guys. It's nobody who's Australian. I know there's the bassist who was playing with you in '81. His name, yeah. Do you still talk to him at all? Do you still have a good relationship with him?
No, I don't have a relationship with Wayne.
That's it, Wayne. I'm
That's
sorry,
not
Wayne
because
Nelson. Yeah, apologize. Yeah,
Wayne Nelson. I should have. He's a good guy. He and I were good friends. I don't begrudge him what he's doing. He's singing my material, and they're singing their own material. So there's that plus about it. But they tend to pretend that they're the original band, and that's not the case.
Do you still when you perform? Maybe I'll give it. We'll go 10 years back. Do you still have that stage fright and anxiety as well when you're performing?
Ooh, no. I was always keen to get on stage. I liked being a show off. I'm a good lead guy. And I did all these sort of things, promoting the, but really the music was and the songs were the driving force. I'm just lucky to have had such a great, varied career with varied colleagues. I'm known as the older statesman of Australian music now. A lot of my contemporaries have passed away, and a lot of them are not so well. As I've said, I've got Parkinson's, and that's slowing me down. But it's not life-threatening, that's for sure. Now, I've lost a lot of good colleagues. Brian Cadd, my mate in Axiom, he's suffered a major stroke just 4 or 5 months ago, and he's in care now, and I'm going up to meet him to visit him. He lives up in Queensland now. It's taken its toll. John Farnham, who took over lead vocals from me, and then became the voice with a great album. What's it called now? You're the Voice. Yeah. He's suffered a cancerous illness as well. It's not good. We're losing a lot of people, but I'm still standing after all these years.
Yeah. And you know what? You're going to stand for much longer as well. We want to keep you around. We want to hear your voice. We hope the Parkinson's doesn't affect you. I want to talk about one more song before we go into what exactly happened and why all this legal stuff happened with Little River Band. Take It Easy on Me. Do you remember the song? Do you remember shooting the video? Because I've been watching that video a lot the past couple of days. It seems like you were in a lounge by yourself singing it. Do you remember that song? And what do you think of that song?
I love it. I still do it on my shows. Take It Easy on Me, one of the great Graham Goble compositions. Yeah, what can I say? I've been lucky enough to be singing great songs for a long time now.
Yeah. So again, I don't want to beat a dead horse about what happened with you and the original members, but you got shafted with the rights to the
Oh,
group. You know, how does
that's,
that happen since you're the voice in the original founding member? How do you get pushed aside and someone comes in and takes everything away from you? Was that something Australian laws, or was it from the States? I don't explain how that happened if you can.
as Confucius said, shit happens, and it happened to me. You know, it came out of the blue when I was called into a meeting, and they said we want John Farnham in the band. We're sorry, Glenn, but we don't feel your commitment is strong enough anymore. And I don't know what I did. I know I was very upset about it. I was very angry, and I drank a bottle of whiskey and went around Brian Cad's place and, you know, poured it all out to somebody. It wasn't a good time. But as I say, shit does happen. I'm still standing and I'm still working. A lot of the people that sacked me from Little River Band are not working. They don't perform anymore. I'm the only one that's still performing. I'm still carrying the musical kudos, I think. I wish I could come to America, but I think that's not the case now. I won't be able to travel much anymore, and also the powers that be behind the Little River Band. They're too militant. You know, if I set foot in America and talk about Little River Band, they talk about injunctions and all that sort of stuff. So I'm not interested in getting involved in the legal hassles with, especially in the American legal system. I'd be broke if I
I
did.
just I don't Glenn, I just don't get it. I mean, again, if it's not for you, and you know, you sound like a humble guy, and you don't strike me as someone who likes to pat himself on the back, but if there's no Glenn Shorrock singing those songs or writing some of them, most of them, Little River Band, I don't think we're going to hear about Little River Band. I mean, it might be something in Australia, but they certainly weren't going to be as popular as they were, especially when you're platinum
Mm.
status here in the States. So I
Mm.
think that's just a raw deal. Hopefully you touch on that in the book. I'd like to read that, but um, I wanted to go hear the music,
Yeah,
and with the exception of Wayne Nelson singing the songs. Yeah, you're right. I mean, there was nobody there from Australia. They had the Little River Band LRB logo and everything, and talking about 50
yes.
years. You
Yeah,
know,
celebrating 50 years of
yeah,
whatever.
yeah. So, no,
That's
no,
fine.
no slight to those guys. I mean, I don't know them, and I don't know Wayne.
Absolutely
But
agreed.
do you
They're
still
all,
talk?
they're all entitled to make a living.
Right.
Just don't pretend to be me.
There's no way anybody can think that anybody that sings your songs is you. Do you still talk to Graham, Beeb, Derek, David, and George at all? You still stay in
Yeah,
touch with them?
yeah. Just the ghost of LRB still stalks me, uh, and yeah, with the royalty situation, that's getting a bit messy. Not messy, but needs to be mentored a bit better. Yeah, so we talk business. We don't talk music. Graham's a very militant man. He's very militant about losing the name. He wants it back. Um, I'm philosophical. I'm still working. I'm still singing the songs, and and you know, still flying the flag. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I just
we
don't know
talked.
how. I just don't know how founding members, the original guys like you guys, come in, your blood, sweat, and tears. You bust your ass to make it in a business that's cutthroat. It got cutthroat, especially in Australia. You look at the bands that came in Australia. Obviously, you don't have any rivalries with AC/DC because they're hard rock. But you look at AC/DC, Air Supply, Men at Work. Did you have any friendly rivalries with Men at Work and Air Supply since they were kind of in your genre, that kind of music? Maybe, I mean, you consider it a
Yeah,
yacht rock, maybe, or
yacht rock. Yeah,
yeah.
that's a new one, isn't it? Um, well, no, it's always been there's always been rivalry amongst groups ever since I started, and yeah, you try and measure yourself against a lot of great acts. Men at Work, I've got great respect for, and Colin Hay especially. He's a great front man.
Saw him in
Yeah,
concert as well with Christopher Cross and Toto about a month ago as well when they came into Chicago. So yeah, Colin, and you know what, Colin can still sing, Glenn. You know,
absolutely.
yeah,
You can tell a story too.
yes, he can. He's a funny man. He is.
Yeah. Yeah. Air Supply, not so much. That's not, that's a bit too light for me. AC/DC is the other way. What was the story? Somebody accused them of recording the same album 17 times, and what's his name? What's the guy's name that jumps up and down with the? See, that's my memory's going. Um, yeah, he said no, it wasn't. We didn't do it 17 times. We re-recorded it 19 times.
The last question in here before we get to our last segment. In a word, I'm gonna bump up a little bit as you talked about speaking with your former blokes, the original guys. Was there talk back in the day of getting back together and maybe recording not
Yeah,
as a Little River band, but recording music and giving a big fu to the guys that stole your name and everything, or just wanted to make a new
yeah.
name for yourself?
Yes, people have talked about that in all shapes and forms. It's not happened, but I keep saying I'm the one that is still going. I'm the original sound of LRV. So, as the song says, you can't take that away from me. No, you can't take that away from me.
Your
Up
solo
yours.
work is impressive as well. What are you most proud of on your solo work?
Oh gosh. um, Working with George Martin, I produced a show here in Australia called All You Need Is Beatles. I got George to come out and conduct the symphony orchestras from around the country, and I put together an all-star front lineup, and we just sang all those wonderful orchestral style Beatles songs, Strawberry Fields and Penny Lane. Well, I could go on forever. That was a lovely thing to do. I'm sad that he's gone. We had a nice relationship for quite a while. What others have I done? Wow, there's so many highlights. Working in America on the same level as the Eagles and Fleetwood Mac and shows like that. That was very rewarding and something that I'm proud of. Taking Australian-grown music to America and selling it in America and doing very well with it. Making good contacts, and I miss guys like Glenn Fry. He became a friend. So it's all tinged with sadness, some of it, but I'm still trying to keep a happy face and sing a happy song.
Now, Where Was I is your autobiographical novel. Yes, there you go. It's they're getting tongue tied here, talking with the man Glenn Shorrock from Little River
You
Band,
got
the
your
original
tangle in the
member.
jungle.
The
You
original
got your
member.
tangle in the jungle, didn't you?
Yeah, Bungle in the Jungle. You got it. Oh, what motivated you to write your autobiography?
Yeah, because people wanted to hear my story and coerced me into it. To begin with, I thought it was a bit of a we have the expression wank, a bit of a blowing your own trumpet. But once I got started on writing it, I learned a lot about myself and what I've done, and I'm going to attempt to write another one because a lot more has happened to my life since I wrote that first one. And so I've got to apply myself to doing that in the next couple of years. Now, where was I? Was the first one. Now, I probably tentatively titled it "Now I Know Where I Am" or something.
I'm right here. How about that? I'm right here. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm right here. That sounds good.
Glenn Shorrock.
I'm trying to learn trombone.
Oh, I love playing the drums. But some of the Little River Band tunes seem to be a little easy to play on the drums.
Yeah, we don't try and sing it.
Yeah, no, I don't think Henry. You know what? I know it's not one of your songs that you sang, but Night Owl is another one of my favorite songs as well. So,
yeah, we made some great records.
You did,
no
you
doubt.
did, and you know what? I mean, the success you had in the States tells it all. Because if you don't, I don't know if you agree with this, but I think bands overseas, if they don't come over to the U.S. and get that success, I don't think I don't think really people will know, and they won't have the big success that they're looking for. You know what I mean? So I mean, you can have your success in Australia and England, but if you don't come across the sea and come to the States, you know what I mean? Is that how you guys felt when you got the band together? Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you guys invented this business, this rock and roll business. It's an American part of the culture. Part of the American culture, and I don't ignore that. If you don't make it in America, then you still haven't made it worldwide. No, I'm very philosophical about the worth of American music in my life and everybody else's life.
Final question, Glenn, before we go to our final segment in a word. Little River Band included in this question. Who is the top 5 best Australian bands in your mind?
Oh, golly. Oh, boy. Most of them I know. Always a member of. Oh, the Dingoes comes to mind. I like the Dingoes. Midnight Oil, great band. There's a lot of good talent still coming out of Australia. Great singers. We've got you have it as well. The Voice, the program, The Voice.
Yes,
I watched that and listened to some really wonderful young singers. But where do they work? With live work is few and far between these days. We don't do much live work. I do.
AC/DC, NXS up there with you, Men at Work, those guys.
Yeah, NXS, good music. AC/DC, I just can't. I've never really liked heavy metal music. That's my problem.
What about Crowded House? Crowded House?
Oh yes, definitely. Yeah, wonderful. The New Zealanders they're great. Had some great performers. Now, keep going. you've got more of a memory for it than
Yeah,
I have.
that's about it. Like, for some reason, I didn't know Midnight Oil was Australian. Actually, I thought they were from England. Don't
Mm.
ask me why. I just I didn't get deep into music. I love music, and now as I'm getting a little older, um, I'm appreciating music even more. And like I said, I told you this off camera during our break, but I'll say it live as we're putting this on the YouTube channel. I'm about 10, 15 years behind and wanting to interview you and coming to watch you sing, and I'm just kicking myself in the ass that I didn't do this a lot sooner because my show, I loved the tag of the show is interviewing stars from yesterday, today, and tomorrow. But I'm seeing a lot of my favorite artists, yourself, Little River Band. Phil Collins says he's getting older and he's got health issues. Genesis,
Yeah.
Kansas, Boston. I don't know if they no longer tour. Van Halen, I saw a final time in 2012. And Eddie passed a while back, a couple of years ago. So I was a Diamond Dave guy. I like Sammy Hagar, but if you were to hold a gun to my head, I'm a Diamond Dave guy for Van Halen. Little
Hmm.
River Band, Toto, Foreigner, Styx. A lot of these older bands now still having a lot of infighting, especially Styx, like Tommy Shaw and those guys that cannot stand Dennis DeYoung anymore.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about bands. There's
Yeah,
still a lot of a lot of great solo artists too are still
yeah,
working.
yeah.
John Prine and people like that. I listen to.
John Waite's
I love
another
it.
guy I saw in concert. He's 72 years old, Glenn, and I'm telling
Yeah,
you, he sounded great as the opening act for Foreigner and Styx. This guy can still bring it. So,
yeah.
um,
I know it's all learning. Been we've never been this far, if you know what I mean.
right.
And this genre has never traveled this far. It was never really meant to. It was meant to be a dance craze to begin with, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Rock
for
and
me,
roll was about dancing and looks and girls and cars and stuff, and it's changed, morphed into, with the help of the Beatles. They turned it into an art form, a creative art form that we could all use. Um, it still has the excitement. No one's ever made a record like "Good Golly Miss Molly" by Little Richard. That's still my favorite record ever. That still gets me up on the floor, and then I drop to the floor. Never mind.
did you like Queen?
Yeah, yeah, a
Yeah,
bit too big for me.
right.
Bit too not so organic. You know what I mean? I like organic music, I guess.
Rolling Stones
Wooden.
were Rolling Stones weren't your cup of tea?
Oh yeah, Stones are great.
Yeah.
Love them.
Zeppelin, The
Fantastic.
Who.
Zeppelin, not so much. The Who, yeah. The band, Crosby, Stills and Nash. Wow. This is still James Taylor still doing beautiful music.
Mhm.
Yeah, I still listen, but I keep my eyes and ears open. Um, Spotify is a good tool to use if you want to find out what's going on, and you don't need to buy the record or download the whole thing. You can listen to snippets or whatever, and that's what I do. I read reviews in the weekend papers, and if there's something that takes my fancy, I go to Spotify and dial it up and have a listen to what it is, and yeah, it's good. I love it.
Well, like I said, Little River Band's music is timeless. It'll stand the test of time long after we're
Yeah,
gone here.
yeah.
Uh,
I just had the radio on here, and I heard the Night Owls was played and Cool Change as well. So they still like me.
do you sit and listen to your songs at all at home with you and the wife? Do you play your music
Uh,
at all, or do you just like when you hear your song, do you kind of turn it off because like, oh, I know what that is?
some of them they do, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, No, I do a lot of surfing of radio stations and no, not so much radio, TV stuff, YouTube. When you get on YouTube and dial yourself in, it's amazing to see all the stuff that I've done, and sometimes I'll wallow in that history. It's great fun. We're very lucky to have a very entertaining world, I think.
The original founding member and lead singer of one of the greatest Australian bands, Glenn Shorrock, is my guest on Behind the Mic. We're going to take a final time out and come back with our final segment in a word right after this.
Brought to you by Slugmaster, turning batters into hitters. Log on to slugmaster.com for a dealer near you.
Experience the power of advanced skincare technology at LA Tan in Lisle. LA Tan in Lisle is proud to offer red light therapy, the revolutionary red light technology that targets all layers of the skin. The 5 distinct red and near infrared wavelengths carry unique benefits and maximizes the potency of your treatments, unlocking your skin's true potential. Embrace the future of skincare and discover a new you with red light therapy at LA Tan in Lisle in Maple Square. Call 630-810-5900 to book your appointment today. 630-810-5900. LA Tan in Lisle. Look good, feel good.
Little River Band founding member and lead singer Glenn Shorrock is my guest on Behind the Mic. Great conversation as usual. And Glenn, I told you 10, 15 years behind this, should have interviewed you a long time ago. Don't know why. Then I had other things going on in my life, I guess. The stars did not align. We're here in our final segment, but before that, we were talking off air. I don't know why I forgot about this, but we were talking about bands coming out of Australia. The Bee Gees are not necessarily a band; they're more of like a group, right? Would you call them group? I can't believe I forgot about the Bee Gees.
No, well, it's very poignant you should bring that up. I think it's so tragic that Barry lost all of his brothers, all 3. That must be a very hard thing to take. And I know Barry. I've had mid dealings with the Bee Gees ever since they started here in Australia. When Barry was 16, Robin Gibb and Morris Gibb were 13. And they had these whiny little voices. I used to call them the Goat Brothers. I started a joke. Oh
boy!
But look, they're the most successful Australian artists ever. Really, I don't think anybody's done more business. Maybe AC/DC. They do all right. They don't need a quid or two. All right. Where was I? Bee Gees. Right. Yeah, they were. I went through periods of not liking them and then realizing I did like them. They've been around for so long, and as I said, it's a sad thing that it's all ended. But the music lives on. And Barry's still doing stuff. He's a good guy.
All right, Glenn, I don't want to take up too much more of your time. I certainly appreciate talking with you. It's been a great conversation. Our final segment's called In a Word. I'm going to give you some phrases or some things. If you can answer it in a word, fine. If not, expound as long as you want and give as long as an answer as you want here. Okay, here we go. In a word with the voice, the original voice of Little River Band, Glenn Shorrock, original founding member as well. First question, Glenn, in a word, growing up in England and Australia.
Yeah. Exciting.
All right. He's 1 for 1. I think Glenn's going to be one of those guys. There's only been 4 or 5 people in the interviews that I've done that have just given me one word. So you're on the roll right now. In a word with Glenn Shorrock, Twilight, your Twilight and Axiom days.
Friendship.
The Australian music scene versus the United States music scene.
Oh gosh.
I'm not going to give you all softballs here.
No, really. Oh, I don't know. What can I say? I mean, we emulated what we heard. We wanted to be as good as the American bands and artists were. In a word, inspirational.
Not bad at all. All right, here's the softball for you, Glenn. In a word, Little River Band.
Leave me alone.
Oh, oh boy. Okay. All right. Hopefully they don't hear this, but if they do, oh well, that's the way it goes. You did Glenn and the boys dirty, whoever you are. All right. Final question in a word, Glenn, for our segment. Your career.
Thankful.
Well, how about that? Four out of 5. Glenn Shore can really do it. Glenn, again, thanks so much for coming on. I love your music. I love Little River Band, the original Little River Band stuff. Some of the music that was made with you and John Farnham as well. But yeah, Little River Band's going to stand the test of time. It's timeless music. Stay healthy. I hope you're able to sing for years to come. And if you ever come to the States, I'd like to stay in touch with you. I'd love to come and watch you sing. Stay healthy. Thanks so much for your time, and good luck to you. And if you want to check him out, get his any of his music, any of his books, GlennShorrock.com, GlennShorrock.com. And if you live under a rock, just type in Little River Band, Glenn Shorrock, and it'll go right to his website. You can get information for his autobiography. When is your next show? When are you performing, Glenn? Where are you going to be at?
Next week, I'm doing the cruise. 17th and 18th of October. Yeah.
All right. Now I know I'm going to get some Australian fans now, Glenn, because I'm going to have some people from down under watching my show. So hopefully.
Oh, good. All right. Hello, guys. How you doing?
Glenn, thanks so much for everything. Good luck to you. Stay healthy and keep on singing. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you have great taste, Gary.
Experience the power of advanced skincare technology at LA Tan in Lisle. LA Tan in Lisle is proud to offer red light therapy, the revolutionary red light technology that targets all layers of the skin. The 5 distinct red and near infrared wavelengths carry unique benefits and maximizes the potency of your treatments, unlocking your skin's true potential. Embrace the future of skincare and discover a new you with red light therapy at LA Tan in Lisle in Maple Square. Call 630-810-5900 to book your appointment today. 630-810-5900. LA Tan in Lisle. Look good, feel good.
Brought to you by Slugmaster, turning batters into hitters. Log on to slugmaster.com for a dealer near you.
Big thank you to Glenn Shorrock, former original member and lead singer of Little River Band. And if you don't know who Little River Band is, you've been living under a rock for the past 45, 50 years. Great music, great sound. These guys got Glenn and all the original members got screwed by a guy named Stephen Houston. Don't know how he was able to take the copyrights and everything about Little River Band and not let these guys use it. So, but Glenn's a better man than I am, thanks to his wife, Irene, who's his manager as well, for setting up the interview. If you want to know more about Glenn Shorrock, go to his website, GlennShorrock.com. His autobiography, Glenn Shorrock, the autobiography, Now Where Was I? My Career with the Twilights, Axiom, and Little River Band, and Back Again. This man is still singing at 81. As he said, he's got some Parkinson's, some tremors. It's not affecting him now. He'll be going on a cruise, Rock the Boat, I believe. And he still performs. I'd love to see him if he can still do it and come to the States. But with this bickering from this former member who basically thieved him out of everything Little River Band, it's ridiculous. Please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, at the one behind the mic on Instagram as well, and our YouTube channel, Z-Force Media, and hang out, watch some of the episodes. We've got more interviews coming for you. Can't believe summer's over. Our summer of fun will be ending this week. Like I said, it's Sunday night here in Chicago. The Bears won their first game. Hopefully it won't be their last. But it was Monday afternoon in Australia, as we are 15 hours behind them. And the summer of fun ends this week as we're going to northern Indiana, Gary, Indiana, the Hard Rock Casino to see Tater Salad. I hope he's funny. He doesn't drink anymore. He lost all that weight, so hopefully this guy, can. Is he going to be funny? He better be funny, or else you're walking home. So we take the Gary South Shore back home. Like I said, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, at the one behind the mic, or btmchgo@gmail.com if you got an email. For everyone here at Behind the Mic, thanks for watching. Good night.
Behind the Mic has been brought to you by LA10 and Lisle. Call 630-810-5900 to book your red light therapy appointment. LA10. Look good, feel good. And Slugmaster, turning batters into hitters. Log on to slugmaster.com for a dealer near you. Behind the Mic is a Did He Go production, produced by Z-Force Media. Stage manager is Heather Marie. The executive producer of Behind the Mic is Eric Ferguson.